What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Get on My Level. This is episode 9. I know we have a couple pretty interesting things to go over. Yes, we're going over Battlefield, Suck a Dick and Die. Um,
Going over that
Tuesday.
shit until that motherfucker come out. When it come out, after it come out, if it's trash, we gonna talk about it. If it's fire, we gonna continue to talk about it. But go ahead, continue, please.
And as always, that was live. What's up, Android? How you doing today?
So just a little salty, but I'm alright.
you
Right.
A little bit of pokey salt in my belt,
should have
but,
played
Man.
but I'm alright.
You want to tell the audience what happened?
Motherfuckers took my fucking username on Pokemon Unite. I installed this shit and put my trainer name as Android, and that shit is already taken. So to whomever has taken my trainer name, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. The real OG Android is about to be on the game kicking ass and taking names. Specifically that one, bitch.
That's comical.
I'm gonna add him. I'm gonna search him and add him.
You petty motherfucker. All right. Well, on to the fun part of the show. All right. So we can kind of recap EA play. I don't want to dive too far into one of the topics, but we'll go over some of the other stuff real quick that I saw. There wasn't a whole lot I can say really newsworthy, right? They basically re-showed the trailers for fucking FIFA, right? Re-showed a trailer for another game. I can't remember which one it was. And then they dropped news for a new game called Lost in Random. I told Android a little bit about it. It seems like a kind of like a, I guess more along the lines of like Jack and Dexter, like it's an action platformy type, right?
Okay.
It looks all right, like of course there wasn't an insane amount of news on it or anything. Just like there's this game, you have a dice companion thing. I don't know. They were pretty cheesy in their thing. If you watched any of the actual like presentation, it's pretty cheesy. They should probably really start getting like low-key fans to do this so it feels more genuine. Granted, the dude that they had do it, like, he's a wrestler, so faking things is his like lifestyle. So he did all right,
man. Don't get your ass whooped by a real fake wrestler.
Yeah, I'm not saying he did a bad job. Like, if anything, like I felt like he actually, you know what I mean. But the other people felt so flat, right? Like their
his energy is up and everybody else's energy is mid.
Yeah, like he sold me on like I'm hyped for this. Like even if he's really not, like he made it seem enough.
But everybody else's energy is that fake excited. Like
yeah,
we've been playing this shit for 7 years now. Yay!
Yeah, I don't know if you know the wrestler Xavier Woods. He's a newer guy.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, he like I said, he's like, yeah, I can't wait to see what you got coming out next, blah blah. But he had that wrestlers,
Yeah, that little growl to their voice.
Yeah, like I'm excited, I'm ready to see what's he's like, well, what can you tell me about this feature, blah blah. And like it seemed like you know what I mean. Like I'm not saying he was genuinely excited about something. He might have been like anybody else. First time he ever heard about half of the shit, and he's just like, all right, cool. Yeah, I'm good at what I do. And the other people are like, developers, and they're like, yeah, we're really excited about this new feature, and it's like, oh, come on, bro, come on, you're trying to sell me on this motherfucking game. And it, like the ones that like did the excited shit, like were like the forced fake excited shit. So it's just like it was super cheesy.
I mean that's kind of how it goes, man. You work on a project for so long, you get so used to it. It's regular to you. It's new to everybody else, but shit, for the most part, they've probably been developing this shit for multiple years.
I mean, I get
playing
that.
It. Fucking, it's hard to get re-excited about something that you've been experiencing.
I get that to a degree,
years.
but
still if you're the salesman.
Yeah, this is what you do. Like, I think that's one of the things, like, so when I went to school for it, that was one of the things they talked about most, is understanding that you are a salesperson, not only
Mhm.
for your work but for yourself, right? Because like 90% of artists and stuff, you're your own salesperson, right? Um, so to see that like people that are in the industry not being very good at it, like one or two of them were pretty good. Like, okay, so another game they talked about was the new Grid. This is a game you know a little bit about.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Um,
Yep.
the chick that they had was from like the UK or something. She seemed
Yeah.
genuinely kind of like hyped, right? She had that big old cheesy white girl smile the whole time, you know, like
Yeah.
she was like
Yeah.
wanting to say more than she could say.
See, that's what you need. You need
Yeah,
somebody with that level of excitement for a game
yeah,
because they're new. I mean, and she might not have been a developer. She might have just been an
PR or
analyst that was
yeah,
speaking on it. But that's what you need. You need somebody who's going to get out there and sell the game because most of the time developers can only tell you what they've done in the game. They're not excited because one, they're probably still fixing shit, working out kinks and bugs,
they're
and they know
nervous.
where they really know where the project stands. That's usually what it is. So when you
True.
standing there and you're trying to sell somebody on something that you know may not be wholly complete, or there's little things that you would like to tweak still in your mind, you still thinking about all that shit that you would like to do to the game. Everybody else is just hyped because they finally seeing some shit and they seeing how whatever you develop works.
Fair,
So it's
fair.
hard to be fake excited and look excited, especially when that's not your fucking job. Your job is really to develop and design. But shit, it's hard. I don't know. It's a fine line. It's something you got to be able to do. You got to be. But everybody's not a good fucking salesman.
No,
I'm
no.
talkative because I ain't smoked yet, but I'm rolling up. I'm hella talkative right now.
All good, all good, all good. But yeah, other than that, you know, like I said, they spoke about the grid, let us know there's a new one. They were touting a new story mode. Um, I don't know how I feel about that. Um, I mean, who plays racing games for the story, right?
Nobody.
And that means it's going to be
Nobody.
super generic. So like, eh, that makes me feel like the events are going to be predetermined to a certain degree. Yeah. Like how many shoots did they do? Like, do they have like 20 takes based on how well you do, how poorly you do? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, it depends. Maybe you build a driver in this grid. Who knows? So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
maybe there's a story arc in that.
Well, from what I understood is like you're starting out as a new driver in the Grid World Series or some shit like that is what it's called. And you're the underdog, and I'm like, oh joy, like we haven't heard this before. And then there's a dick
God.
protagonist driver. Really? Never would have seen that coming. Never in a million. So like for me, the story element, I'm just like, what, what they showed like some light footage, but like I couldn't even tell you if it was actually from that game, right?
The thing is now everybody wants this type of experience for their customers.
I get that, but at the same time, like I want good gameplay. Fuck your
Nah,
story.
they looking for a way that they can motherfucking monetize some shit. I guarantee it.
Oh, it's part of EA. I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
You know,
So they want.
Codemasters is now under their flag. Everything is now pay to win.
If it ain't pay to win, they gonna find a way to get a coin about your ass.
This is true. Um, trying to think if I missed a game in that showcase. They teased Dead Space. I think it's a remake. I don't know if it's a new game, but they teased it. Um, that's about it. Yeah. They didn't the developer Skate wasn't there, which we know there's going to be a new Skate game, which me and Life are stoked about.
Bruh, I'm fucking pumped for that shit.
That
I'm
should be.
still motherfucking disappointed at Skater XL. Want to sock somebody in their face for this bullshit.
Oh, fair enough.
I really like the old skate games.
Yeah.
The old ones are really good.
I used to love those fucking games, bruh.
Yeah, and
I used to play them shits religiously.
they basically said that there's one in development. They're not at a point where they felt they can show anything. But it's like cool. At least it's there. You know, like they publicly announced that there's a game, right? So for them to back out now, I'm not saying they won't. It is fucking EA, right? But it's one of those like even EA's not big on like they just won't tell you something, right? They're better at that.
Definitely.
So typically when EA announces something, something's in the works that who knows when, right?
Yep. Or they could just be putting fillers out there. They could be just saying the shit. See
Yeah.
if there's a reaction. See if there's a bubble about it.
Oh, there's a
I
bubble.
feel like game developers should do shit like that, especially whenever you fucking bringing out something that's nostalgic. And to me, any of the skateboarding games right now, Skate 3, Tony. Could you imagine if they made a Tony Hawk that was more realistic?
Yeah. People have been asking for a Tony Hawk game since the last one. Like that's the
I
crazy
would
part.
still play Tony Hawk. Like I don't know anybody that played the original wouldn't play a new updated version. Like the skating games of our day were fucking great. Like,
you know they remastered 1 and 2, right?
Yes, I do know about that. Unfortunately, I can't play those games anymore.
I have it. I have it. It's really good. Pro Skater 1 and 2, the remake is good.
But after playing something like Skate, right, where you're manually doing all your tricks with the thumbsticks and all of that shit,
it's hard to go back.
Going back to the mashing of the buttons and the like ridiculousness of Tony Hawk Pro Skater, it got difficult because shit, I could do 7 tricks while I'm in the air in Tony Hawk. Like link that to a fucking manual and I'm doing million-point tricks. Like it was fucking insane. Like you really just mashing buttons.
That's kind of why I find it entertaining, honestly. Like if I'm being honest, that's part of what I like about it.
I'm not gonna lie, as I said that, I was like, damn, I think I'm talking myself into getting this game. Fuck. Alright, I might get that game. Cause I do kind of miss that a little bit. But at the same time, I want to get Skate 2. I want to go buy Skate 2 as well.
Well, yeah, because it's also good, just for different reasons. It's fun. It's still fun.
They're different games. They're both skater games, but they're different. Like it's literally one's arcade, one's sim, right? I loosely say sim, but it is in comparison. It's a sim.
Indefinitely in comparison.
So you get 2 different styles of gameplay, and both are uniquely fun. That's what sold Skate, right? Like it wasn't Tony Hawk.
No, what it was the next step up from Tony Hawk. That's all it really was. It was like Tony Hawk worked us into a space where we were comfortable playing skating games.
Mm-hmm.
Then Skate was introduced, and it was like, holy shit, this is what skating games was missing.
Yeah,
some realism.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it like Tony Hawk took us to a certain place, but Skate was a different animal in and of itself, right? Like once you got to play at that, it was like, oh, okay. Man, I'm gonna
give you the perfect example. It was fucking going from NBA jams to playing NBA 2K, bruh.
Yeah.
Where you used to be able to do wild dope shit in NBA jams, fucking 2K, it was like, what? I got control. I can cross motherfuckers over. I'm doing everything they doing on the courts for real.
Now I know there's like detractors to like how, like the appeal of Tony Hawk was its ease of access. The appeal to Skate was its complexity, right? Like there's something to be said. Like there is fun to be had in a lot of technical things. Like to play Skate and be like do the cool stuff. Yeah, you have to get good. Like there's no nice way of putting that, right?
That's a fact.
But at the same time, like the first time you pull off one of the tricks, it's like you've accomplished it. You didn't just hit fucking, you know, B. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, you're over there, like I think me and you were doing like no slide grinds and the manuals and shit, and like we were having the hardest time because it requires your thumbs to move super fast in certain directions, and it's just like, why is this so difficult?
Man, but that
You
was the
gotta
beauty of
finesse
it.
that fucking joystick. Fucking rip that bitch
Bro.
around.
You are slapping your joystick around. Stupid. Like it was your bitch when you were done with that game. That's for fucking sure.
You know what's crazy is I got a game called Skate XL, right? And I think I've talked about it with y'all. This game is actually like kind of dope, but like it would be like if me and you developed a game and it was good, but like not consumer ready good. Like
It needed some polish.
yeah, and it needed to be playable. Like this is a game to me that it lacks playability because literally it's just you in a skate park. There's no points. It's basically a skating sim.
Hmm.
But you don't have every move that you like a real skater could do. Like you don't have that level of freedom with the game. That's the only problem.
Oh, okay.
They just stopped develop. It to me, it just feels like they stopped developing a pretty dope game and let the community have at it. Like the community has done some shit. They've added clothes. They added style to the game. The developers just built the game. Like, but I would not recommend this game to anybody that doesn't just love skating. If you just love skateboarding in an open world, well, not even open world, in a fairly open world, it's a decent game. But like the element that skate brought is it was a little bit of Tony Hawk, but a lot more demanding.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where this game fails at Skate XL. But I'm hoping and praying Skate brings that fucking love back that I have for this shit. Cause this shit is it's a gap. There's a void for sure.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree. I think a lot of people played the original Skate and like were turned off. If you're a casual gamer, there's stuff for you to do in there that's hella fun. You can go do like the Thrasher missions where you just launch yourself to there.
Yep.
I know a lot of people that just did that shit. Um, yeah. So here's hoping Skate doesn't suck ass balls. Android, you had a couple of things. Did you want to go over any of the things in Pokemon Unite other than your username?
Other than my Pokesalt.
Yeah, other than
that. Well, for anybody that doesn't know, it's a fucking MOBA. You know, it's just a little MOBA game. It's free to play on the Nintendo Switch, and it's pretty fun. It's not as complex as some things say, like League of Legends, you know, but it's more based in leveling your character. You know, there's some of that in other MOBAs, but whereas in League of Legends you equip items and stuff, you don't so much in Pokemon Unite. You just focus on leveling to gain the advantage. But it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It's still like new, you know, there's not a whole lot to it yet, but it's fun. Other than that, I have been playing Dragon's Dogma, and that's like a little underrated RPG from Capcom. It's I don't even know how to like begin describing this game, right? It's like I don't know, just an action RPG. I don't know. It's got some Monster Hunter elements to it in the sense where you like fight big monsters. But it also feels kind of Shadow the Colossus because you can climb on them and fucking slap them on their head and shit. And it's pretty fun, dude. Like, I don't know. I definitely recommend it. It's like old. It's older now, you know, but it just got ported onto Switch also. I've been playing it on the PlayStation, but it's on Switch. It's good. Definitely 8 out of 10 for me.
No cap. I've never really been a big fan of Pokemon. Like not like for real, for real.
Mm-hmm.
But if they came out with like a VR version, bruh, that kind of made you immersed in the world, and you really battle people like online VR, that shit could be
That shit
fire.
would be so fire, dude.
So
Like,
That would be cool.
for people like Life, I understand where he's coming from. You might be interested in the Pokemon Arceus game. It's the new one that they're coming out with. It's the open world one, to where you just
Okay.
you can walk around. It's third person, right? Android.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
Um,
third person, and you can like interact with Pokemon as they're running around in the world and shit. But like
yeah.
better than,
Yeah.
or like hopefully better than they did
Then-
it in fucking Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Because in Sword and Shield, you get T-posing seagulls.
Oh shit.
But fucking yeah, it looks better from
Oh,
what
fuck
little
yeah.
footage we've had.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It doesn't come out until what, next year, right? If
I'm not
mistaken?
fucking certain, but I think
Oh,
so. I think
was
next
there?
year is the like time frame that they have for it.
Yeah. So for
Yeah,
like, yeah.
I was gonna just say, oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the only other game that I want to see them do like a VR version of what I'm thinking is fucking Yu-Gi-Oh, bro. That was my shit. I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
Bruh,
Yu-Gi-Oh
front. I'm
greater
not
than
gonna-
motherfucking Pokemon.
bruh. I would play the shit out
Out
of
of
some
that,
fucking
that's what I'm
VR
saying, right?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Bruh.
Not gonna
Any
front
of
that
those
shit.
type of games, even the game that you play with is Magic.
Yeah.
If they gave you a VR version, bro, where you were in it, the cards actually had motion to them, they actually did things.
Bro, I'd be scared.
Yeah,
And
dude,
that's
that
the
shit would
point.
be cool.
That shit would be fire.
Like that
That'd be
would
so
turn,
cool.
that
I'd
would
be the
turn
king
Magic-
of games.
that would turn
I'm
Magic
so
into board
curious,
games.
like how far away are we? We can't be that far away.
It depends who you ask and where you're at. Here, yes. In Asia, no.
Also true.
True. Okay.
Um,
Because at first I was like, what? What does that mean, Kobe Bryant?
fair.
Goddamn, same animal. same
Same
animal,
animal,
and a different
different
beast.
beast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
buddy.
what you just hit me with. Like,
yeah. All right. So for the American consumer market, there isn't shit. They had some game that I heard about a while back. I can't remember the fucking name of it. Supposedly it fixed a bunch of the issues they've had with VR. The hand tracking, the blah blah blah, all that good shit.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing about the fucking game since, so that tells you about roughly what's been happening on our end. Other than that, you've got shit like VR chat where people just go act stupid, right? Beat Saber, they've ported over some other stuff. I'm pretty sure you've heard Wolf talk about it a handful of times. There's not much for it.
Yeah. No, I know. That's kind of what's helped me from getting it. I've talked to him, and I've talked. Well, these are our group.
Yeah.
But I've talked to Wolf, and I've talked to Merle. Merle also has VR, and
It's just
when he mentioned it, I was like, "Fuck, how do you like it?" He was like, "It's cool." He was like, he almost knocked out his mother-in-law fucking playing boxing, but he was just like, "There's not much to it. Like, there's not really a lot to it. But the games that are there that are fun, they're hella fun. Like,
yeah." And that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, man, that's kind of what's been keeping me from getting into VR also is that it's an expensive ass hobby and there's not a whole lot that you can get.
If they had the right ones where I could get it, I would get one just for like two of the games because they're shit I'm into personally. Like Beat Saber, something I love.
yeah,
the rhythm games.
I kind of want to play Beat Saber.
Yeah. And then there was something else that I'd seen on there. I can't remember what it's called. Like I could probably look it up sometime, but it's not. It didn't look great. It just looked like something I'd have fun with here and there. But you go.
I seen man, the dude that I watch stream quite a bit. Stone Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
COD stream. He was playing some game on VR. I can't remember the fucking name of it now. But the shit looked so cheeks. Like it looked horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was one of those things where you'd be like, all right, fam, I could wait for VR if that's what I'm getting right now.
It's still to the limitations of So from what I understand, like the VR has to be capable of doing XYZ from kind of like standalone from your computer, and that's kind of like the hindrances,
Yeah.
right? Plus you have to have a powerhouse PC to pull it off in the first fucking place.
Right.
So there's a lot of limitations to it, and that's what's really holding it back is like our own technology and like how much we require for it. You know, is an arm and a leg. As to where like in Asia they're doing dumb shit just for shits and giggles. Like in Japan, I think me and Android have talked about it. They've recreated one of the anime games worlds that it's based in a VR world, right? Like the anime is based in a VR world, so they recreated that world for VR, and it's like a public thing you can go to. That's how into it they are. And I'm like, you're not going to catch that here because that just requires you throwing money and hoping. But their culture's different, so like, and that's like that's their Disneyland. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Exactly, dude. It's just that over here in the West, there's not as much or not as many people that are developing it as there is in the East. You know what I mean? In some of the Eastern countries.
Well, and they also took the right approach. Like, I don't know how playable, like, if you can do shit or if it's just like a tour type thing. But, like, there's people that got the initial VRs for, like, your phones and shit. And they thought it was the coolest thing ever because, you know, they used to do things where you could, like, you know, look at stuff, like, through space and shit or, like your whatever. And a lot of people still like that.
But that hype died down very quickly.
Yeah, because it ran out of stuff.
True.
That's the main issue.
There was no innovation. Yeah, you're right.
And that's the biggest issue, right? Now, if companies were starting to be smart and were like, you know, there was a market for this, why did we stop? Right? Like, but you don't have a whole lot you can do, right? Because like the audience that's going to purchase that for that reason isn't into the things that could really take Dragon Ball for instance. Like, would it be cool just to go like check out Planet Namek and shit in VR? Like, you can't do a whole lot. You can go say what's up to Piccolo and shit,
and then that's it. But that's the problem. Like, and that's where you insert goddamn Pokemon VR.
And I get it. Like, there are, like, yeah, you want more, but right now, like, that's where we're at.
Yeah, they're essentially more like virtual tours, like you said. Yeah. And that's part of what I was getting at with the like levels of development is that like the East, in terms of like, and you know, this can turn into like a debatable topic, right? But like, so I'll just be whatever. But fucking in the East, they've always been ahead of us in terms of like technology that is available to the public, or at least what is being developed. You know, like you got to think back in the mid 2000s and shit, like what they were doing with cell phones. You know what I mean? Especially in Japan. You know, so like they're the ones that are actively developing that shit. You know, and they're not getting much help. So it seems like the most advancement that they've made is just virtual tours. Not that they're not working on it, just that they're the only ones that are. You know,
because it's basically a passion project over there. Where over here it's a venture. It's a capital venture.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and what brought me to that, right? Is I heard something a while back. I can't remember what it's fucking called. I heard it on the podcast I listened to. And this dude was talking about where you go buy real estate, technically, in virtual space. So people can augmented reality go check it out, and like you can have like little stores posted up in AR. So like, for people who don't know, augmented reality is what Pokemon Go uses. The Harry Potter game tried it. Is that game even still around? Haven't heard anything on it. There's quite a few augmented reality.
But it's fucking doo-doo.
Yeah.
It's doo-doo, bro.
There's quite a few augmented reality games. So what happens is you use your phone and like the Pokemon will be on the ground on your corner, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you do the same with this augmented reality tour stuff, and like, anyways, you can like say, to make it easier, somebody that everybody knows, Shroud, for some reason buys up my local convenience stores, whatever. He can augment reality, put whatever he wants there, like as a store, and you can go buy like his blah blah blah
His gear.
merch and shit.
He could
Yada yada.
basically do pop-up shops,
Yeah,
but virtual pop-up shops. That's kind of fire. That's a hell of an idea.
Yeah, and it seems to be catching traction. So I'm like, if you could. Okay, so like they want that for augmented reality, but if you could do that in VR, and then like, you know what I mean, like everybody, like Google
could you
Maps
imagine
shit,
if Travis Scott did a release like that, released his music, released his some merch, VR merch that could be applied to multiple things? That shit would be dope.
Yeah, and that's kind of like, that's what I'm saying. That's kind of where we're headed. That's why, like, when I thought about it the other day, that it was an interesting idea, but I hadn't thought much on it. But when you were talking about like what's next with the VR, I don't see why you couldn't cross the two, right? Like, yeah, you have the AR or whatever, but like if, let's say, they did it with
could you imagine, and this is just to piggyback on that, just that little Travis Scott idea, will we ever get to the day where somebody like a Travis Scott is developing a clothing line to release inside of a game?
Yes.
Like, and then it's just applied. Like, let's say I've developed clothing, and I get the licensing to put it on. I'll just say a hoop game, 2K. I get licensing for everything that's under that umbrella.
Yeah.
And I can put my clothing. I develop my lines. I do my own little pop-up shops. The people come in and buy it, and we share proceeds with the game. That shit would be kind of dope.
I think we're not too far from it, if you want to be honest. Think about so the generation that's coming forward now, right? They're who was that cat? There's a basketball player, like I wouldn't say like a well known one, but he's pretty fucking good. I want to say he's like a small forward. What, it's like a white dude, I can't remember his name. Anyways, he plays, he's one of the many athletes, but he's not kind of into gaming. Like, this motherfucker joined an org as a streamer, right? Like, he's one of the first pro athletes to do that, right? Which is funny to say, right? He's a pro athlete joining an esports org, but that's how into it he is. He's like, I may want to do this when I quit playing, basketball and shit. And he's like, I'm about this life. So you're seeing people like that are willing to take that risk or that venture, right? Because this is what they've grown up on now, right? Like, it's our generation kind of tinkered with it, played with it, threw out ideas, and where we are off of it, right? His generation and like Android's generation, they're the ones that are like gonna do that next step, right? Because they've been immersed in it for so fucking long that there isn't that preconceived hesitation, to kind of like how we have, right? Sometimes, because it hasn't always been around, so it's like we know the actual risks, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes that's what you need the blinders on and just to eat right down there and be like, fuck it, we're doing this. I don't give a fuck, we're doing it. So yeah, I can see that happening, because there is, I mean, it's like anything else. If you played 2K, if you played fucking any of the games, really, there's a marketplace. They have like specialty, blah, blah, blah. And if people can understand, like, oh, I can make money off of this, blah, 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 but giving, I don't know, EA my likeness. And then, but I also have this idea where I want to, make exclusive shit. Well, they'd eat that. Like, if Travis Scott went to somebody, like, I'm not even a Travis Scott fan, but if he went to somebody at EA and was like, hey, I want to make a special clothing line just for your fucking games, but I want a profit margin off of it, they're not going to say no, because now they have an exclusive deal with fucking Travis Scott.
Exactly.
And you know, that's one of those things. It's like I don't like exclusive shit, but I can see where like a person can benefit from that and a company could take advantage of it.
But see, for me,
Oh shit.
it's exclusive, but it's not exclusive. Like, it's not like you're holding me from a whole game. You're holding
True.
me from a little bit of content that really doesn't. I won't say it doesn't matter. It matters if that artist matters to you.
Yeah. And well, that's
It'd be
that.
like,
Yeah, that's one of the things. It's like, eh, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it, but like, let's say it is something that's just fucking fire as fuck, and you're like,
yeah,
then like now you might end up buying a game you didn't initially want to buy just because said artist is associated with
because of who's supporting. Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Because you know what I mean, like I'll give it to you like this. There used to be fighting games that included like Spawn and Mario Brothers and shit like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Those specific characters that you know. So shit, you're enticed to go over to that console because you want to play with that character.
True.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. This whole content thing could be headed to for artists.
Could. I mean, but it's up to like, is somebody willing to take the risk at some
Because could
point?
you imagine if
Yeah.
it was like a Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa pack in fucking GTA?
To be on the real, I'm surprised Snoop Dogg hasn't done it yet. He's been for the longest time one of the biggest, rap.
Snoop is probably one of the most recognizable artists in the world.
Yeah, and he's done shit with
But
the game companies before too, like a lot.
the difference is, I don't think Snoop has the draw power of the kids anymore.
Maybe
Like,
not.
he's popular. I think that kind of leans when you pair him with Wiz Khalifa. There's a lot. It's a lot wider range.
Yeah.
But if I don't know, man, Travis Scott got a fucking hold on these kids. Boy, I don't know what he's doing to them.
I'll give you that, but you got to think though. Like, let's say Snoop Dogg's not going to get you all the kids. A lot of people still sleep.
He gonna get you to. He gonna get you to 25 and ups.
Yeah.
A lot of people fuck with Snoop the long way. So
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Like, there's like Travis will get you a lot of the younger kids, and like you know what I mean. Snoop will get you anything from 40 to some of the younger ones, right?
I mean, he gonna get you really Snoop's range, and this is why I always say if you pair him with Wiz, because Snoop's range, his crowd is probably it could be anywhere from 18 to goddamn 60 something. Like, in all honesty,
True.
but
True.
when you pair him with Wiz, you really kind of locking down into that 17, 16 range to that 16 to like 28 range for Wiz Khalifa is gonna be bananas.
True.
And to me, Snoop, there's overlap with the two, but if you pair the two, do a little what's their fucking, they got a little cheesy ass movie, Mac and Devin or some shit like that, high school.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
do something with that, because I hear they supposed to be doing like a part 2. Could you imagine if they took that and threw that into Fortnite? A little Mac and Dev and Weed collab into Fortnite?
Yeah, motherfuckers will eat that shit up.
It would go crazy. I might even fucking play that bitch.
Honestly, yeah, and that's a lot of the shit that like I don't think. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm surprised Snoop hasn't, because he is a gamer, right? Like, he's been to a lot of these events. He gets invited to a lot of them.
I'm surprised there hasn't been a Madden Snoop collection yet.
For real, or a 2K collection, or Battlefield. He played fuck out of Battlefield.
Snoop is so big in football. I feel like he should have a team out there. Like, they should have a Snoop, because he's coached a team before. Yeah. Even though it was Pee Wee football, but like, I'm surprised they haven't marketed anything that way. Madden is slacking, bro. Madden is, I hate to say it, but Madden is so comfortable at the top because it's alone.
Well, yeah.
Like, it kind of sucks because there's no innovation, bro. Like, I'm so ready for that licensing deal to be fucking over if it hasn't already been extended. Because I would like to see pro football go somewhere else. Like, I want to see what can be done with pro football. Like, it's pretty fucking good right now, but I think there's a level above it.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't know when that's. They're not going to re-up it, are they?
I thought the NFL said no, but who knows, man?
But it doesn't
As
end
I like
until
to say,
24 or 25, right? Like
niggas lie every day, B.
You're true. It's
Um,
still in for a while, ain't it?
I believe so.
They signed like a long ass deal the last time. Hold on, let me see if I can find out what that is.
Look, I'm already searching.
Okay. Yeah, I remember hearing something, but like I've heard nothing since. So it's like, it's EA, bro. Like, you can never count them out.
Oh no, NFL and EA agreed to extend Madden video game through 2026, but that doesn't necessarily say. Because technically, I think it just said their deal actually ends in 21.
Huh.
The current contract was set to expire after the 2021 season. God damn. They've had a 30-year relationship. They said they're going to continue that 30-year relationship, and it's been approved. It was recently approved by the Players Association. Yeah, so another 6 years of this shit.
Yeah.
But I wonder, is it still exclusive? Hold on, let's see.
That's what I'm saying.
Many even wonder what the future relationship might be after 2K Sports signed an agreement with the NFL in March to produce non-simulation games.
It's still exclusive. It's exclusive. I think
it's not as exclusive though.
I think what I heard was that EA or the NFL thinks EA is doing a good enough job, and nobody else has brought enough to the table.
Can't bring anything to the table. That's why you gotta open it though. But
what I'm saying, like to the table, like you could still develop a quote unquote simulation game that's not branded NFL.
No, nobody's playing that shit, bro. 2K tried it. 2K tried it way back when.
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at. It's like you don't release it to the public. You got to show the NFL that you're developing something that's worth
their license.
Yeah, because you can't be like, hey, we have this idea. They're gonna be like, haha, we already got a deal. What do we need you for?
It just surprises me because I feel like the NFL could technically get this whatever money EA is giving them, they can get that 2-3 times over.
Possibly, I don't think it's about the money though.
That's I'm surprised because everything is about the money.
Well, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, but you got to think the brand recognition is like NFL EA, right? Like it's just it's brand recognition.
Who do you think benefits more from that deal? Because to me, I would say because if you remove the NFL from Madden, that game is nothing. Don't get me wrong; it's great for the NFL to have representation in a video game world because that draws in support and people who may not necessarily watch football. It draws their eyes into football.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, EA is the beneficiary of a lot, especially because of.
I believe it benefits EA more. I don't debate that with you at all. But like I said, I don't think that the NFL is too worried about the money aspect because, again, I think there's a lot that goes into it, like, because EA has to do deals with now the NFL Players Association. So now the players are getting compensated, right? Like, it's a good deal for them to, kind of like sprinkle other stuff around and make people happy on that front. I think for the NFL, it's more of like it helps their brand and their ability to combat the NFLPA on things.
I just thought this. It's probably just fucking easier for the NFL. It's probably just the simplicity thing with the NFL.
To a degree.
Whereas you have to get agreement between the NFL and the NFLPA.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a fucking pain in the ass if the NFLPA tried to bleed out another company. So to bring in multiple companies and have bidding wars and or have it open to multiple people and at different price points, it could be a bitch. If the players.
I think you're absolutely right, and I think that plays into the idea one of you guys was making earlier about you'd have to like actually start developing it and bring it to them, not just come to them like, hey, we got an idea. You know what I mean? Otherwise, they're not going to be even willing to hear you out if you don't have a product to show them already, bare bones.
It's a lot. Like, you're asking a developer a lot for
nothing.
Yeah.
Really.
Like,
because you may be building a game out that can't even be resold. It's not even viable to put in the market.
Yeah.
But,
which I think we've seen it, honestly. Because you had like Doug Flutie's football, you had you've had 2 or 3 football games drop. Nobody's talked about them because they're not.
It's not because they're not. So when you play these games, man, you playing it for recognition, dog. It's a lot of. I want to go up and make a fucking monster catch with DeAndre Hopkins because that's my favorite player. Or I mean, I would say Juju, but right now, man, I don't really like Juju. He got to show me something next season, Jack.
No, like, I don't disagree with you on that. But I've seen some of the gameplay, and like, the games look, I won't say bad. I'm not gonna say a game that I haven't played is necessarily bad, but they look weird, right? And this is, of course, coming from playing Mad for years. But still, at the same time, even when I used to play 2K back in the day, when 2K had their football game, it was different, but it still looked football. Like, it's hard, you know what I mean? Like, you play EA's NBA Live, you play 2K, right? The NBA 2K. They have a similar flow to their look and the way the gameplay looks, right?
True.
They're different, but at the same time, you get this certain feel.
There's a certain feel.
Yeah. Yep. When I was watching those other games, at no time did I get it. It looks so weird. Okay, so the game Backbreaker. I think I told you about this a long time ago.
Yep.
It doo-doo balls. Straight doo-doo balls. It's so weird. You have to like double press the pass button thing, and then the ball, like, the camera follows the ball, but it does like almost a kind of like up close following the ball, kind of like how the old Blitz games used to do, but like you're up on the ball. It just felt weird. I like innovation, but that's not what I want you to innovate on, is weird ass camera angles, right? Necessarily, like, especially like in that sense, like to go from the quarterback and then have the camera like jar up and then track the ball in a weird motion. It's not conducive for like entertainment. Like, it just thinking about it, I just had a mild stroke, I think. It's just really fucking weird. Like, the more I think about it, it's like, I don't want an EA clone. That's fine. But just because you're using similar camera angles or similar play style things, right, doesn't mean you're a clone. Like, you can go back and look at dude, go back to the PlayStation era. What was that 989 Studios football game they had? It was some.
Oh my god, with the really blocky ass fucking. Oh my god, we used to scoot across the field.
Yeah. Game Day. Since Game Day, 2K, Madden, there was another one. Dude, they've all looked a certain way since we've come to the 3D world, right? The way the camera is behind the people, the way the camera is focused on things, right? Since back then, it hasn't changed much. I don't need you to change that shit. That shit is perfectly fucking fine.
Yeah.
Make the game play better. Don't fuck with the fucking cameras. Ain't nobody talking about no fucking cameras. I'm about the AI up in this bitch. We talking about cameras? Talking about cameras? No. Gameplay, bitch. Like, bring me something innovative, like when 2K did the halftime, when you had a homeboy that going back. What's his name? I can't remember his fucking name. Damn,
I know exactly who you talking about, but damn it,
The
you
white
just made
dude.
me lose. I know exactly who you talking about. I can't think
Yeah.
of his name.
When he would do the
Said my life.
halftime,
Yeah.
he'd do the halftime show for you. It's the cheesiest fucking thing, but it was something new. We hadn't had nothing like that at the time.
True.
You want to do something innovative and kind of gimmicky? Do it there. Like I watch more halftime things due to that because I had Chris something Berman. That don't sound right.
Yeah, Chris Burnt. That's
Somewhere
close
above-
enough to his name.
Yeah.
Chris. Yeah, I want to say it's Bourbon.
Something like that. He did the halftime shows with the it was that black cat that was always with him. What was his name?
James Brown, my guy.
Yeah. You know, you have James Brown tell you in a little bit what happened, like the score. And you have Chris come back and he's at the 40, the 35, and they score. You know?
It's like Stuart Stott. Wow.
Yeah.
Stuart Scott. I can't believe I said Stuart. Stuart Stott.
Your English be good, my man.
Bruh.
But yeah.
The medicine is working.
But yeah, you know, like, hey, man. Stewart was the shit.
Oh, man. Revolutionized fucking sports commentating, bruh. He brought personality to sports commentating.
That's one person I wish they would have put in more games for just for the sake of doing it. Like, I still remember he cooler than the other side of the pillow.
Bruh, all the little slang shit, like he used to put in little slick shit whenever it wasn't popular to do this shit. He brought
my favorite one, and
he brought slang to sports.
I put this shit on Facebook, but I seen it. He said, "Like my status because you like my status," and that boy instantly went up on social medias. I'm like, this motherfucker is on one.
He just used to say the best shit, dog. That's what was so dope about him.
Well, he had the charisma for it too. Like he would say it with such conviction and swag. It was just like you're like, yeah.
Yeah, like it was basically like talking to a highly educated college cat who still had a little bit of slang in his language, and it was perfect. It was just perfect for what the world was.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't corporate like what ESPN started out as.
Oh,
damn, man, we old.
Oh. Well, he got to spit it like that.
Have you ever watched Weatherman 2? Bruh, he literally is. He's like basically the white Stuart Scott.
Damn it, man.
And that shit is fucking hilarious. Definitely a must-watch movie. But I know what the fucking solution is. Also, I know what the is probably occurring. They probably need their EA money to be a long-term deal based on what the NFL agreement is. Whatever their agreement, their salary cap and shit, it probably all goes into that to determine how much money is available to pay out the players. So that's probably why they like the long-term deal with
You know, I never thought about it that way, but that's actually a valid enough point. All that shit is like worked out to the T already.
Yeah.
It probably
Why would they bother with it?
Yeah, it probably influences some. I don't know how much.
Well, because now, I mean, I just continued to read the article.
Mm-hmm.
What it looks like is because it used to be exclusive. Nobody else could use NFL anything related to an NFL player, team, anything. Now it looks like they just can't build out simulation games, but they can build out like cartoony type NBA Jam type games. So it sounds like we may be getting a 2K version of Blitz to come out.
Let me hit stick people. Like the last Blitz they made was doo-doo balls.
They gotta figure out a way to make it dope again. Like it can't be. There has to be some technical to it. I think they need to do a flag football, bruh. Like a 3v3 flag football.
Well, Madden's done something like that. You haven't played this one, but the yard
NFL Streets they had.
Well, no, yeah, but I'm talking about like in Madden. Like, there's this thing called the yard where you play 5-on-5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. I didn't look too much into it.
To me,
Sorry, there's a storm and it's distracting me.
it's all good.
Like, I don't know if you can hear the thunder, but fucking shit, dude, it's loud. I can hear it over everything.
If you're getting it now, that means I'll get it in about 2 days, maybe 3.
But yeah, they got this. It's called the NFL The Yard.
Yeah.
And it's 5v5, kind of like pickup football style.
I have learned that playing any game where you have to get 5 people together at once is very fucking difficult.
Can be.
Three people seems to be the fucking magic number. Even though you know the ability to expand out is really what's good, but 3v3 to me is kind of the fucking sweet spot.
I don't disagree. I think the issue is like, so like take 2K for example. Most of those people can pull the 5v5 squads, but they're the 2K guys, right? Like, they're kind of like you with Rocket League. Like, you ain't gonna catch them on a whole lot else besides 2K. It's just not gonna happen today. So you've always got that guy, but there's only so many of them, right?
True.
It's fuck for me and you. We have an issue a lot of times finding a third on Rocket League. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, fuck, somebody get on the game. Yeah, bitch, motherfuckers. But no. I don't know, like or maybe a 4v4 or something, like, I don't know. I think just a lot of it, like, the companies are a little too complacent and comfortable where they're at, so I don't think we're going to see much change anytime soon because nothing's forcing them to.
That is always the fucking problem, dog. Companies get comfortable. They get a position, they get comfortable in their position, especially when there's no competition.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you have to open up that license to everyone. But we'll see, man. I think, damn, 6 more years of Madden this way.
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh. Be old and decrepit by then. But nah, I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where I understand it, but at the same time, I want to see what NBA 2K, what 2K Sports could do with it.
True. It's what, like, I've told a lot of people, there's things that you'll learn that would be better, but they're not going to come to pass because it's the way the world is, and you could not like it all you want.
Yeah.
But guaranteed, if you were in that same position, you're going to do everything to keep your position of power. Like, that's just the nature of the beast.
But you know how dope it would be I think my idea is pretty fucking, do a 3v3, almost arena league style football, real players, almost NBA Jam-ish, but you build out your players. You could also do like a creative player,
mm-hmm.
and you build out your player, and he has to be a two-way player. So he has to be good at 2 different things. He could be a great pass rusher and a good receiver, or a great pass rusher and fucking, I don't know, whatever, running back or whatever. But that shit might be kind of dope. Like,
could be. Like I said, that's basically what the yard is. Just 5v5.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
You're
like a running back, linebacker, and then somebody is the quarterback, safety, I think, something like that. I can't remember. Yeah. I haven't spent enough time playing it, so I can't give you a fair assessment on it. I just, from what I played of it, it seemed kind of gimmicky. But my player's trash. I barely played it, so I didn't invest enough time in it.
To really give it a fair shake.
Yeah. I like the premise of it because it's your dude. You know, like
Yeah.
you're a guy. You have to have the whatever abilities you want and this, that, and other, and like get him there, which is cool. But it's like fuck. But like I have to live in that game mode for me to get a lot of that stuff, and I'm like, right now I just want to play some Med. Maybe another time, and I just haven't went back, and that's the issue, right? Like
Yeah.
you coupled it with a game that I already want to just play the game. It's more of like an add-on feature where you can have some fun with some friends. You know, like you got a couple buddies on, but not everybody's trying to get their ass beat today by the best player.
That's what I'm saying. Whoa. What was that? Oh, that's you with the.
Yeah.
I'm like, when did fucking Darth Vader get here?
Well, see what happened was
I forgot you do the vape
during the
whenever you
shows.
have to be indoor. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It should just caught me off guard. Like, wait,
Well, hey, that's
somebody's
a perfect.
dying.
That's a perfect segue. You said the Darth Vader, so here's the part that everybody's gonna love. Battlefield has announced, basically Battlefield Portal. It is kind of still debatable on what the fuck it really is. From what we're gathering.
So I've watched this video like 7 times now, right?
Mhm.
Portal looks like in a custom game, you can set up parameters
Yeah.
to where each team can be something specific. The vehicles and weaponry can be something specific.
Mhm.
Like you showed me the one with the shock pedals versus the knives against the two different game variants. The shit was ill. Like
Mhm.
the fucking the shit looks like it could be some. It could lead to some crazy fucking
So
matches.
so where the questions are is mainly, is the rent a server back, which they're kind of hinting at. Um, when I say hinting, they haven't officially came out and said yes, you have to rent the servers to be able to do this. From everything that we're seeing, it's looking that way. For those of you that don't know, there's a lot of people that are not big fans of that for various reasons. If they fix a couple of the problems, which is how you can search for or can't search for official servers when you want to play just regular ass games, is one of the biggest complaints. Sorry, started raining like crazy. I'm hearing all these noises. But that's like the biggest complaints. They haven't really said anything. They talked about what you can and can't do with Portal, but not so much how it works officially. You can go in and set up the game modes similar to what you were just describing, right?
Yep.
Basically, as long as the parameters exist within the game, right, you can manipulate them. So if you want to do 1 versus 64, you can, which you think sounds asinine. But you have things from Battlefield 1942, Battlefield Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, and Battlefield 2042. Elements from each one of those games can be changed and manipulated. So you could do something like, and one of the examples they showed was like 1 versus, I think it was 1 versus 32, where it was one M1 Abrams tank versus 32 EOD bots. Who wins? Sounds dumb, but it's kind of like how a lot of people do the what's it called, infected modes or zombie modes, right? Like it's that in a nutshell. Another one, they did a squad of 4 from 2042 on limited tickets, so it's basically Rush. For those that you don't know, Rush is where you capture points. You have so many lives to do it, to try to capture these points. Once you capture the point, you get more lives, right? And it was, I want to say it was 4 versus like 32 or something. It's a pretty high fucking number, right? but they're 1942 soldiers that you're going against, right? Like you have the advantage in weaponry and technology. You just got to be good enough to make it work. Stuff like that seems cool. Um, I won't say that I'm not hyped for it because that'd be a lie. I was hoping for something more. How would you say? Actual gameplay, stuff. This just tells me that I'm not going to get bored with the game, which is great. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know any more features of the actual base game, which is something we still don't know a lot about, right?
That's true. Yeah.
What else was I thinking about when I saw that? You basically just gave me, for the lack of a better weapon, a different game mode that I wasn't necessarily asking for.
But I think the reason for that is because you're essentially getting Battlefield. They're basically saying, look, we're selling you Battlefield, and along with Battlefield that you're used to and that you're happy with, because for the most part we're happy with Battlefield. We like the way
You're not wrong.
things break down. I mean, to me, I just wanted an update. Really, that's it. I need you to fix a few things. There's a few buggy things. There's a few little things, but give me that game new. Give me a new version of that game, and I'd be happy.
Pretty much. And like
And kind of that's what they're doing. And then it looks like on top of that they're saying, well, look, we're giving you what you asking for, but on top of that, we innovated something. We're giving y'all something a little bit different, so y'all could be as crazy and as you can within. There's still gonna be a guideline, but I think even the developer said, "Shit, those guidelines and those parameters may change."
yeah. Like I said, I'm not hyped about the feature, but
Yeah,
it's more of I wanted to know more about Battlefield 2042, right? The game,
like what weapons will be in the base game,
other features, blah blah. Because there's still supposedly another game mode that we haven't heard about a lot of. So I'm like, are we just not ready to talk about that yet? What's going on here exactly, right?
Honestly, I don't think we'll get that. But we probably won't get what's all in the game until right around when the beta's coming out, right? And the reason I say that is because knowing all the guns is kind of a spoiler.
To an extent. Yeah.
Knowing what planes, trains, little quirky things will be in the game is kind of a fucking, especially in the base game, because that's what we're gonna be playing the most.
True.
It's kind of a, I'm gonna hold that to the vest. I'll tell you what new little game modes, what little tricks and trinkets we've tossed out there. But as far as like the core shit, I'm gonna save that. Like if it's a gun that shoot around the corner, I'm gonna save that until like right around the beta time. Like,
well,
hey,
and that's the other thing that I'm not concerned with, but it's like they keep talking about they had 3 game mode things or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Portal is the second one. I'm assuming it is. But what's this lastly one that we still know nothing on? Because you need to start getting me hyped for it now, because I want it, like I can just go play regular ass Conquest and I'll be happy as a lark. Right? Like I'm gonna be golden.
That's what I'm saying.
So if you want to sell me on a new game mode or a new way to play the game, kind of like how Portal did, right?
Yeah.
I need to know about it pretty soon so I can start thinking about the dumbass possibilities. Not when the game drops. Because when the game drops, like if you kind of bring me something that sounds gimmicky, because like if you would
Portal was gimmicky.
Yeah, if you would have pitched me Portal day one, I'm probably not fucking with it a lot because it sounds gimmicky, right? Like, I don't know if I like that. I'm gonna just stick with Conquest. But like now, like I'm seeing what people are doing. I have time to think about my own ignorant ass possibilities. I'm not gonna spend a ton of time probably playing Portal based, shit. But I'll fuck with it. I'll definitely fuck with it.
And to me, that's the reason that they announced Portal now.
Yeah.
Because it's not something that you're gonna get through the beta. It's not something that you'll see until the actual game launches. In my opinion, and if they smart, that's what they're gonna end up doing.
But
But
they caused a ruckus with it, and that's
yeah.
good. That's what I'm saying. Like if they have another game mode that they're waiting to show, I want to say Hardline, but it wasn't that. I want to say it started with A. It was something.
They had a hardline game mode.
Yeah, but it's not that. They were calling it something else. I can't fucking remember. But
they had a game called Hardline.
Yeah, it's a game. It's a game. Fuck. Anyways, if you're bringing something else to the table on a third game mode, right? Like your standard Battlefield, Portal, and then something else, like some information on the third one, something, right? Because we hadn't heard much, right? So I don't know. I'm still stoked. I'm still super excited. Like it's at this point, it's nitpicking. You're sitting here fucking like putting crack crumbs on a table for a crackhead, and I'm pissed off that I don't have more crack. That you've created this, not me. So just minor bitchings, right? But yeah, no, some of it seems fucking cool. If we get a server, like if that's what you have to do it, which I know we probably fucking will. If we get a hold of the game and it seems like it's fucking entertaining as shit, we want a server. I know me and you will definitely find a way to get one. Because that's how the fuck we are. We're gonna end up doing the most ignorant shit because we've played them for so fucking long. I'm excited still. Unfortunately, the beta's not until September. That has been announced. Not when, but in September. So I've got to get to getting on the corner or something.
Oh, that's fucked up because I don't even think I'll be home then. I don't think I'll be at my computer. That fucking blows.
Big sad face.
Damn, do I have to take my computer with me for a month?
May have to.
I ain't trying to do all that. I might buy me a new laptop though.
That
might happen.
But yeah,
I've been needing one.
Fair.
But I just need a laptop. I probably end up giving the one I bought to my mom.
Yeah, the game looks fire as fuck. From what we saw, you watched the trailer, right? The actual trailer for it.
Mm-hmm.
I told him some of the things. He's like, that kind of sounds dumb. And then you see it, and it's kind of like, oh, okay. Like
it opened up my mind to some of the possibilities.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh shit, like a 4v32 is kind of ill because you can mix in real people and you can mix in bots.
Mm-hmm.
So that shit could be kind of fire. It kind of reminded me of Ghost Recon, the big firefights that you would have.
Yeah.
And as you're shooting one group, another group may hear you because your weapon is not silenced, and it would attract them, and they would come and they would fucking fight it out with you. That's kind of what it reminded me of. And I'm like, oh shit, the possibility of being able to build that out and being able to run that 6 deep, and maybe if you can fill the rest of the game up with just bots that are set on a very high level, that shit would be fun. That's something that would be fucking dope. Could you imagine if you could just go in? I could go in, I could set up 8 of us, and then I could fill the rest of the room up with bots, or however many people I want to bring to this firefight with me.
Mm-hmm.
We could do that, and we could group us into 2 teams of 4 or some shit, and we go out and we fight the fucking map of 100 and or whatever the limit is on bots that we could put out there.
To my knowledge, the bots just they fill up the game. So if you put it on 64, like there'll be 64 bots. Whether or not it'll let you not have people come in is a whole nother story. You know what I mean? I don't know about that.
Yeah. Well, no. If you look at the trailer, when I'm looking at that trailer, it looks like a lot of those people in the trailer for the 4v32 are like NPCs, like just
Well, yeah,
not controlled by anybody. And then it looks like there's another group within that group
but you
of the 32 that are controlled by people.
you got to remember though, they're also doing it in like a small controlled. So like
Yeah, no, I know.
they
But
may,
I'm just
yeah,
saying, if that's a possibility within that game mode might be fucking fire, bruh.
yeah, it's one of those where like I think you saw that due to the lack of player base more than
Yeah.
that technically being an option. Whether or not it's an option they may let you do, um, is a whole nother story. It's like there's no guarantee people are going to join your weird ass game mode, right? Like
That's a fact.
not everybody wants to play fucking one Abrams versus 39 fucking EOD bots. You know what I mean? Like we'll have to wait and see how that works out. But it, all things considered, it looks insane. It looks like it's gonna be fucking just hours and hours upon fun. From everything I've seen so far, I'm more than sold. Hurry up.
I already purchased the game, so sold. What?
Yeah, even for me, it's like even though I can't pre-order, like not yet at least. Even if I pre-ordered the motherfucker, I'd be like, hurry the fuck up, get out. Like,
Yeah, no, I ain't gonna lie. Super ready for the game to be out and available for me to play it because I'm ready for a new shooter. I hope they don't fuck it up like Call of Duty did with all the fucking metas and the very slow fixes. Can't break the game and be slow to fix the shit.
Sure you can. Ask Call of Duty. They're great at it.
That shit is trash. Trash.
But yeah, I don't think I had anything else off the top of my dome about Battlefield that I wanted to exactly go over.
Nah.
Pretty much the premise. This Portal looks interesting. I wouldn't say it's like something that I'm gonna necessarily say is gonna make the game the best game in the world.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool idea. It's something different. I'll give it that. Taking old features from old games and bringing it to a new one and letting you play with it, that's kind of cool. Not gonna front. Other than that, I don't have anything else on Battlefield that I really want to touch on.
Nah, me either.
I think we kind of beat that horse dead today.
I mean, there was a little bit of new news, so I mean, it became important again.
All right. So moving on to other news, you posted something in the ideas and notes. Did you want to go over that?
Oh man, I mean, it's kind of heavy, man. It really deals with kind of what's going on in the world as a whole, man. People just being nasty with power, like. So an article came out alleging, and that's how we'll have to present it always, alleging that game developers, higher ups, were basically cheating women in their position. They would outsource their work to the women and force them to do their jobs. Uh, there was a lot of inappropriateness with the companies that's being alleged, and it's just a nasty field, man. So I just wanted to put it out there, just to, just some knowledge, some information out there. The article we'll put it in our description so that you can go through it and read it. But it's just one of those things, man. That it's like, damn, dog. Even in gaming, dudes is just nasty.
I wouldn't say even in gaming. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's widespread everywhere in every.
Yeah. I know a lot of gamers are really, really bad about being sexist.
Facts.
Lots of gatekeeping in the community as far as that goes.
A lot. Granted, how do I say this without people? I'm not condoning it. It's definitely bad, and it's probably at times worse for females. Um, but gatekeeping in itself is something that happens within gaming culture. If you're a gamer long enough, you'll understand that. I'm not a female, so I don't know the extent of some of the shit they deal with. So I can't speak on that. What I can say is, from my experience, um, 9 out of 10 dudes is gonna try to fuck you or talk shit to you, and the other ones will just be like, "Oh, cool, female gamer," you know. Um,
I mean,
Again, not trying to be an asshole. Like when we run across a chick, most of the time we're like, "Fuck, I hope she don't suck."
fact. I'm
and
more concerned with
yeah,
your gameplay.
and we're not gatekeepers, but a lot of times statistics just don't lie. Most of the females just don't take the games nearly as seriously. You will find the ones that do, and when you do, they're probably as bad as the men, if not worse, about being an asshole. And I cannot stress that enough.
Yeah.
Um, so it's one of those where it's like,
Yeah, female gatekeepers are worse than male gatekeepers just because they had to earn their place amongst their community.
Yeah.
You know, like
they're
like, no,
fucking
I am good
savage.
at the game. Fuck you.
Yeah, they're pretty fucking savage. I have no qualms about it because I'm the old school gamer. I don't have soft feelings. Come talk your shit. If I suck that game, cool. I'll step it up next game and slap the fuck out of you and make you wish you never said anything. That's my mentality. I get what you're saying. It is a problem. Like I said, for gamers, not all of them, but a huge chunk of them give us a really bad fucking name. Again, I've been called, the N bomb more times than I can shake a stick at. By some
of the most vile things I've heard in my life were said at Xbox Live parties.
Coming from young ass kids that like it's the culture of what we kind of created, and I say that we mainly hearkening to me in life, right? Because we're the older of the two. Shit talking was a way of life for our generation. But there's a difference. Like if me and life talk shit to you online, it's just shit talking. Like we could really care less. Like we're not losing sleep over shit.
Move on.
Yeah, it's words, bro. Like, we grew up in a day and age where when you shit talk, you had an actual chance of getting your ass beat. Now there's no way that's gonna happen. If anything, you're gonna get DDoSed or swatted, which in a lot of cases is probably not nearly as bad as getting your fucking teeth kicked in. So people are gonna keep saying the most wild shit because there's very little repercussion to it, and I can't stress very little, if any at all. That's a lot of the culture, and unfortunately, a lot of the people that I've seen, they try to say it's like this frat boy, blah blah, whatever. That's just that's male. Yeah, that's a lot of men being fucking douchebag men for the sake of being douchebag men. You can call it locker room culture. You can call it whatever the fuck you want to call it. We've always dealt with it. The problem is a lot of these people are finding ways into power, and they think they can just do whatever they want. That's just it. We've seen it since we were kids, and other people are having to deal with it. And I'm sorry that they're having to deal with it. But this is what you get when you, how do you say? This is what happens whenever kiss asses get too much power, or the Rico Suaves that can talk their way through any situation get too much power. You get this shit. Because most of those people, they think they're something that they're not, and they can just do and say what they want with no repercussions. And that stemmed from a lifetime of being able to do these things. You can say it's a predominantly male thing. It's not. You're seeing it more and more with females, with like this younger generation that says that men don't like women of power. A lot of the younger ones are starting to act like that.
Yep.
It's just the transverse, right? Like they're not sexist, males, because unfortunately, as men, that's one of our big things. We like sex. Sorry, not sorry. Some of them just make it look really fucking bad, and they should have their ass kicked. Like I'm not even gonna front. But at the same time, it's kind of like the whole female thing where like these younger women are like, oh, you don't like a powerful woman. It's like, nah, girl, we don't mind one. We just don't like somebody that, what's the word I'm looking for? Thinks that they just innately deserve it because you fell out of a pussy on Earth and you're a woman and you deserve power. You're not a queen until you make yourself a queen, sweetheart. I hate to tell you. You're just another trick. And that's how I'm going to leave that. Because I believe that even for men, because like I said, there's douchebags that think that way, and they just tend to be sexist with it, where women have a really bad tendency of just being what I like to call the bad feminists. So I'll leave that where that is.
Like, wait, what?
No, I have no issue with like the feminism shit, but the way some of them do it now.
Oh, like fucking fifth wave feminism or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever they're calling it now.
Yeah, I don't play that new age feminism shit. You can go play in fucking traffic and die for as long as I'm concerned.
I just don't like any group that feels like they could force you to feel how they feel. I can't force you. I'm black. I can't force you to care about me. Like,
yeah,
either you do or you don't. I can ask,
but you either do or don't.
Yeah, you have that choice, and I mean, I could be offended by it, but
it don't
that
mean
don't
shit.
mean I have the that don't mean I have the right to just come punch you in your face and be all over you because you're not you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not motherfucking trying to hoist me on your shoulders, and that's what I feel like. Every it's a lot of people down there feel so entitled that they got to be hoisted up onto a fucking pedestal.
That's what I was looking for. Entitled. Thank you.
Like,
no,
shit is weird.
Yeah,
that's my issue, right? Like, look, if there's some douchebag at your company that is sexist, or like as they like to call it, the frat whatever, blah blah, and that's just a fucking douchebag that's entitled. Like, that's life. That's unfortunately.
Wait, that's not me. No, I'm just fucking with you.
That's that's one of those things that, like, when I say it like this, some people might take it the wrong way, but a lot of you created it.
Facts.
I don't know how to put it in a way that isn't personal, so it's the only way I can put it. It's
the fucking participation trophy culture.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Not only that, like, these people aren't really that. It's these people were the ones that aren't the participation trophy, but they're the ones that, like, were pretty good at something, but kissed the coach's ass and found a way, right? Like, they weren't the best at something, but they made something out of nothing, and everybody praised them for it. And it's like, cool, great, but they get that sense of entitlement, because so and so thought they were great, or so and so thinks they're something.
Because they went from really bad to just pretty average.
Or went from pretty average to all right, right?
Yeah, the decent.
Yeah, that's all it ever is. Because, like, I think people forget that unless you find a way to stay humble, you will become this. It's really that simple. It sounds easy, but a lot of people don't know better. I tell a lot of people it's easy to be mad at somebody that has the silver spoon in their mouth and is ignorant, right, to a lot of things. It's really easy to be mad at that. But how can you be mad at that? Because, right, like, yeah, they don't know your plight, but you don't know their issues either. Like, they're ignorant to a lot of the finer things in the world. Like, why are you mad at them? Right? Like, it's a two-way street.
True.
Staying humble is harder for somebody that doesn't know better. Right? Like, if you've never had to be humble, like you've always been humbled, but it wasn't your choice to be humble, you can lose that hella fast. There's
what you see is a lot of people who grew up getting participation trophies,
True.
were never good at anything, got a little bit of recognition, and lost their motherfucking mind. Like, that's it. Like, people go on these ego trips, and the shit be sad. You be like, bro, you've done a little, and you are asking a lot. And some people been to that because they feel like, oh, if I been to it and I allow him to do that, maybe when he gets to his position, he can pull me with him.
Well, yeah, but like I said, it's mainly the person, you know, whom is the douchebag that's doing it.
True.
But at the same time, people do have to take accountability for the things they do to help that situation.
For every douchebag, there is definitely a group of enablers.
Yeah. I tell a lot of people, like, it's not, and this is not a good way to view things. So do not take this as a way to live your fucking life. I'm throwing that disclaimer out right fucking now. I work for quite a few people like that. I've worked for some like actual asses, right?
Yeah.
I'd work for them again tomorrow. Those people I work for again. I can respect that. If I show up, if I show up 2 minutes late and you're in my ass, just to be in my ass, fuck you. If I show up 2 minutes late and you're sweating your ass off because you're covering for me because I'm 2 minutes late, I can't say shit. I've
facts.
Now I feel like shit because I was late and you're doing my job.
True.
There's a fucking difference. There's a fucking difference. Now, for the people that just bitch and you sitting on your ass because I was 2 minutes late, suck a dick and die. I know I was 2 minutes late. I don't give a fuck about this job. I don't give a fuck about
it. If it wasn't something that was so critical that you had to get off your ass to do it, then it could have waited until I got here. So I'm not late. I'm right on time to do the job that needs to be done.
And I try to tell a lot of people, like, I've had a lot of situations in my life that I've had to eat a nice big pie of humble pie, right?
Say, where's he going with this?
But I know my limitations. I know my limitations, right? You're not gonna scare me into this or that. I've been fired. I've been wrote up more times than I can shake a stick.
Damn, fam.
You're not gonna fucking scare me. You can say what you want to say. You can talk about this, that, and other. Not afraid. Right. I can go find a new job tomorrow. Will it be a job I like? Hell fucking no. But can I do it? Yeah. Can I make it? Yeah. Why? Because I've done it more than once. It'll be harder now than it was back then, but I can still do it because I've done it, right? Yeah. So at no time am I an enabler because I'll sit there and I'll argue with you. If I think you're stupid, I'm gonna argue with you. You're not just gonna tell me to do some shit or this are we gonna do like this buddy system? No, I don't do that bullshit because I don't fucking trust you. Should you work at a place where you feel like you trust your boss? Hell yeah. That's wishing the world was rainbows and sunshine though, and I'm not that guy. You should not be either because you'll learn real quick. It's not like that out here.
That's all. Oh shit! I just realized. Never mind.
So, as for that, like, I get a lot of these people. They want to stick around at their jobs, for XYZ reason. I get that. But sometimes you have to hold the L to better your situation. And that's all I can really say about that. Should any of it happen? No. But you're asking people not to be shitty. And the day that happens, well, there might only be 3 people left on the face of the planet for that to happen. That's the only way I can put that. You can call me negative. You can call me what you want to call me. People sociology, not everybody was made for some shit. And
it's a fact.
You know.
Not everybody handles pressure the same. Not everybody handles anything the same. So
nope. You're going to have
set your expectations a little lower.
Yeah.
Where people allow for some wiggle room to adjust, for you to adjust to them.
Yeah.
don't expect them to adjust to you.
Yeah. If you're at
Unless
like,
you can get them the fuck up out of there.
yeah, which in a lot of times you're taking an L with that either way.
Yeah, your reputation will take a hit, but
yeah.
sometimes, man, people need to be moved.
True. I told somebody this a while back. If you think that the company is out for your well-being, you're on crack.
Man, they replace you as fast as they fucking could.
They'll replace you and John both.
They finna have you train the motherfucker that's gonna replace you. That's how cold a job is.
True story.
So don't ever get caught up in the fact that you work for somebody, because that's all you do.
You work for somebody. So for people like that go through these situations, I feel bad for them because it sucks. But again, you work there and that's your choice. At any time you can walk away. And yes, I understand it sucks. Yes, I know it's your dream job. If it is your dream job, it is what it is.
The way the system is built, if it's something that you can do about it, if there's an actual reason, then get their ass the fuck up out of there.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. But like I said, a lot of the times you're holding an L regardless. You've got to know what you're capable of dealing with. Because the system ain't perfect, and you're probably not gonna like the fucking outcome, even a little bit. So, yeah, like I said, there's no good way. If you feel like taking down said douchebag, then by all means do. Just know that that's gonna affect you in probably a negative light. Is that right? No. It's half the shit that happens in the world, right? No. So get accustomed to that.
What you gotta do is get comfortable in being uncomfortable. That's how the world is.
Pretty much.
The Buddhists believe that pain and suffering are two different things. That pain is intrinsic to life, but suffering is a choice.
Facts.
Yep. This is some real shit. So again, this is kind of a growing trend, and just in the workspace. I don't have a good way of putting it. Stand up for yourself and do it right, but know what standing up for yourself means. Sometimes it is walking the fuck out. People don't understand that concept.
You don't own shit there. Move around. Sometimes it take that.
Yeah.
You can't take it.
If you, David and Carol all feel the same way, then fuck it, all four of you go find something else. Exactly. I know that's not what a lot of people want to hear, because it's a terrifying concept, right? Especially if you have a job that you kind of like. If you don't like the job, then get the fuck out of there. What the fuck are you even doing?
It's time to move around, bitch. Move around. Move around.
But remember, like, you're replaceable in their eyes, so you must always understand that they're replaceable in your eyes. And you can't be afraid of taking that leap, because if you're afraid of taking that leap, then you're just going to be a victim. And then I'm not going to feel an ounce of pain for you, because if as long as you have a choice, you're not a victim. Like, I won't see you as one. If you have a way out and you're not
I agree.
I've told my boss multiple times I'm constantly looking for new jobs. Like I said, not things I would say. I'm a psychopath, so don't do the things I would do exactly, but there are some things that I can tell you to do that will help you. But I avidly tell my boss I'm looking for another job just when he pisses me off. It's like, bro, no time am I comfortable here. Like, don't think that you win just because I work here. Like, what are you, high? Like, fire me today. I'll have a job. Will I make as much as I make now? Probably not. But at some point,
what I have learned in my life's journey is when you leave a company and go somewhere else, 9 times out of 10, it's either for the same money or for a little more money, or just more money in general. But I have rarely seen almost anybody that I've known, when they've lost a job, their next job out the gate is paying more typically than the job that they left.
Unfortunately, where I live, that's not always the option, but I could make like I came close to making the same money I made.
Yeah.
Um,
But
but that
shit, I mean,
definitely
in being free of time, shit, you might you may find a new way to make money.
true, and that's the thing. Um, and I've thrown that at him. He's like, well, you're not gonna get paid as much as you get paid here, and I'm like, that's fine. I was like, but you've lied to me more than once. And I was like, if anything, I'll have more free time. So maybe I can make more money on the side.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. Like, people are afraid to gamble on themselves. And this is coming from a person that I wouldn't exactly say I have the best outlook on myself. But in my years, I've learned that I can hold a lot of weight and still be fine. Right? Like, it don't matter how bad the situation is. It don't matter if I know what the fuck gonna happen tomorrow. Because sometimes getting the short end of the stick makes you realize it's like it inherently doesn't matter if everything is sunshine and rainbows for me. I've got to wake up tomorrow and do something. Like, tomorrow's gonna be here, whether I'm happy about it or not. So I need to figure out what the fuck I'm doing.
That's kind of the goal, is for tomorrow to come.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people look at it like, oh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do it? Sitting there stressing over it ain't going to help the fucking situation. Tomorrow's coming. So shut up, nut up, and figure something out. Like, ain't nobody trying to work at McDonald's, but if you got to go work at McDonald's tomorrow just so you can pay your water bill, then you better take your ass to McDonald's to pay your water bill until you find something else.
That is a fact. And that's where a lot of people be fucking up, because they be too prideful to fucking go get money.
Mm-hmm.
They'd rather sit on their ass at home, be broke until until they gotta be out, motherfucker. You gotta go somewhere.
You gotta do something.
Yeah. Until, I mean,
and
don't let pride be your motherfucking god.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, is you gotta have faith in yourself, but you can't be so damn prideful that you're like skipping over ways to save yourself.
Yeah.
Because that's how you become one of these arrogant bosses, where when you're too damn prideful.
Yep.
Like, if you have too much pride, you're over there trying to get Karen to, suck you off behind the water cooler. It's like, no, bro. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Too much, Jack. Yeah. And let you into that. And then she just a freak. But if you her superior, that thought can't even cross your mind, bro.
Yeah, because I think for a lot of people to understand, that's bad juju for you. Like,
yeah.
But again, that's the pride thing. You know what I mean? So there's our TED talk for today. Down that rabbit hole we went.
Unfortunately, I got to wrap soon. I got to go meet with family.
Yep.
Yes. So, thank you for coming to our TED talk.
Pretty much. I knew sooner or later we'd end up stumbling into one. It is what it is.
Every time.
So, did we have anything else that we wanted to speak on besides that? Last little bit. I got anything y'all wanted to address real quick before we end the day?
I think that's a wrap.
Golfing with friends is fun, bro. Definitely a game that you got to play.
I got it. Well, check it out sometime.
Yes, sir.
I've played a little bit of Mass Effect Andromeda. It's not bad. So anybody that's played Mass Effect, I mean, it's not horrible. It's part of the EA Play, so if you have it, I mean, it's worth playing. I mean, if you're getting it for free, basically, with quite a bit of DLC from what I saw. It's moderately entertaining. It's Mass Effect, so there's that. I don't think I had anything else myself. So I think we'll just have that for wrap for today. Okay, I'll have to remember to put the article in the description. I'll have our Twitch links. This week I streamed a lot more because I was on vacation. I'll probably be back similar schedule to what I had been this upcoming week, which is later in the evenings, 7 till about 10 or 11, give or take, here and there when I can, if I'm not super busy. If you get a chance, please do stop by the stream. Say what's up. I like when people talk. My kids are here right now, so like, I think a handful of people might have watched. That's who you're hearing. You hear my oldest son. We're playing a lot of League of Legends, but when he's gone, it's just usually me, playing League by myself, or I'll be playing Rocket League with Life. So anytime you drop by, say what's up. I enjoy it. It's I like conversation, so it's always fun. Other than that, I've got nothing else. Leave us a like, please. Holla at us. Say something in the comments. Say we suck. I don't really care. Just say something. Let us know that you're listening. Let us know that you're out there, what you like. Until next time, get on my level.